Everyone in 1942 agreed on one thing. If you attacked a German airfield with an unarmored vehicle, you were already dead. No steel, no cover, no second wave. Just 18 open-top jeeps driving straight into the heart of the Luftwaffe. And yet, by sunrise, dozens of enemy aircraft were burning in the desert. This is the story of the worthless jeep, and the night it proved that speed can be deadlier than armor. Stay with me, because what happened next didn't just destroy planes. It rewrote the rules of modern warfare. The rule is simple, drilled until it becomes muscle memory. Armor wins wars. Weight equals survival. Steel equals authority. Anything light is expendable. Anything fragile is a liability. In every pre-war manual, every lecture hall, every officer's mess, from Aldershot to Sandhurst, mobility without protection is treated as recklessness masquerading as courage. Young officers learn it early. Trucks are for supply. Tanks are for breakthroughs. Infantry advances under cover or not at all. Vehicles without armor exist only to ferry messages or officers too important to walk. They are not meant to fight. They are not meant to linger. And they are certainly not meant to decide battles. The rule works because it has always worked. In France in 1940, light vehicles burn first. In Poland, they vanish under artillery. In Spain, they die nameless deaths. The survivors are those who dig in behind steel and doctrine. So the rule is reinforced, through inspections, through punishment, through ridicule. Men who suggest otherwise are labeled amateurs, romantics, or worse, cavalrymen clinging to a dead century. Training reflects it. Engines idle in neat rows. Paint is inspected. Weight is praised. Anything that rattles is suspect. Anything that bounces is mocked. Drivers are told to slow down, to conserve, to wait for orders. Speed is chaos. Surprise is unreliable. Protection is truth. Daily life hums inside that certainty. Boots on concrete at dawn, oil and dust in the nostrils, the soft clack of map cases opening and closing. Men feel safe inside the rule. Obedience removes choice. Then the Jeep arrives. It is small. Too small. It has no doors, no roof. Its windshield folds down like an afterthought. Its engine sounds like a lawn implement. Quartermasters sneer. Senior officers dismiss it as an American toy. It is issued grudgingly, assigned to rear areas marked liaison. Men joke that it will get them killed. The rule absorbs it easily. The Jeep will carry messages. It will tow nothing important. It will never lead, never decide, never matter. For a time, that belief holds. The Jeep bounces along supply lines. It ferries officers who don't want dust on their boots. It disappears into the background hum of war. But war has edges, places where doctrine thins, deserts where distances stretch beyond maps, nights where silence becomes a weapon, units where survival depends not on weight, but on speed, nerve, and the willingness to break rules before the enemy realizes they exist. By 1942, in North Africa, the rule still stands on paper, but men on the ground feel its strain. The distances are too vast, the enemy too dispersed, the airfields too far behind the lines. Heavy armor cannot reach them without announcing itself days in advance. The Jeep waits in the margins, light, fragile, dismissed. But in 1942, that rule was tested. If you want to know how a tool that everyone used to make fun of changed wars, be sure to subscribe, because the story is just beginning. The desert does not announce danger. It flattens it. Distances lie. What looks close takes hours. What looks empty hides engines cooling under camouflage netting. The sun presses down without mercy, bleaching color and time from everything it touches. By mid-1942, the war in North Africa is a contest of exhaustion. Rommel pushes east, the British pull back, then brace. Lines shift not by miles, but by supply. Fuel matters more than flags. Water matters more than slogans. The men who will test the rule do not see the whole map. They never do. They know only fragments. Rumors passed over engine noise. Intelligence summaries read aloud by officers who themselves are guessing. The Luftwaffe is strong. Italian airfields sprawl across the coast. Every German aircraft destroyed saves British infantry days later. What is not clear is how to reach them. Days stretch in monotony. Engines are stripped and rebuilt for the third time. Weapons are cleaned in silence. Sand creeps into teeth, into seams, into sleep. Men tell jokes that end the same way every time. Someone always mentions home. Someone always changes the subject. At night the desert cools brutally. Stars burn hard and close. Wind moves across the flats like water. The smell is oil, sweat, and dust. Always dust. Maps are unfolded and refolded. Routes traced with fingers. Distances argued over. Bearings checked again and again. The Jeep sits low in the sand, unimpressive. Its tires look too thin. Its engine sounds exposed. Men strap jerry cans everywhere, on the hood, the sides, the rear, until the vehicle looks like a rolling fuel dump. Machine guns are mounted where no manual recommends. Vickers K-guns, aircraft weapons, adapted for ground use because nothing else fires fast enough. The airfields lie far behind enemy lines. Sidi Hanesh, Bagush, names spoken quietly, like dares. Intelligence suggests dozens of aircraft parked wingtip to wingtip. Bombers, fighters, unprotected at night. The men waiting are not conventional soldiers. They belong to a unit that barely exists on paper. The Special Air Service. Volunteers, cast-offs, men with disciplinary records and private demons. Their routines are looser, their jokes darker, their obedience conditional. Still, even here the rule whispers. Light vehicles die fast. Surprise fails. Extraction is uncertain. Every man knows someone who didn't come back from a long-range patrol. The desert keeps its dead. The waiting becomes oppressive. Too much time to think. Too much time to imagine headlights sweeping across open sand. Too much time to feel the Jeep's thin metal under your hands. No one says it aloud, but everyone understands. If this goes wrong, there will be no armor to hide behind. No infantry to reinforce. No second wave. Just light vehicles, darkness, and whatever courage survives the first burst of gunfire. You are 30 years old, though the desert makes you feel older. Your name is Robert Blair Maine, Paddy to everyone who matters. You were born in Newtown Wards, County Down. Son of a solicitor, rugby international, law student, a man who learned early how to absorb pain and keep moving. You do not fit easily into armies. You never have. You argue with superiors. You test limits. You carry shame from earlier failures, missions that went wrong, men lost under your command. The weight of those moments sits heavier than any kit. This posting matters because it is a second chance. The SAS is still an experiment. Too many failures, and it will be dissolved. Too much caution, and it will be ignored. You know that if this raid works, it proves a concept. If it fails, it proves the critics right. You sit in the Jeep, hands resting on the wheel, feeling every vibration of the engine through your palms. You trust machines only as far as you can hear them. This one sounds eager. You think about home in fragments. A street, a door, a voice you haven't heard in years. You push it away. Sentiment dulls reaction time. Around you, the men prepare quietly. No speeches, no grand gestures. You watch faces instead. Tight jaws, eyes that won't quite meet yours. These are not men who need reassurance. They need clarity. The plan is simple because it has to be. Drive in fast, guns blazing, destroy aircraft, withdraw before organized resistance forms. Speed is survival. Hesitation is death. You also know the plan is insane. 18 jeeps against a defended airfield. No artillery, no air support, no guarantee of surprise. You will be inside the enemy's kill zone by choice. You feel the pull of contradiction. Every lesson says this is wrong. Every instinct says this is necessary. The rule says armor first. Experience says the enemy never expects you to drive straight at him in an unarmored vehicle firing aircraft guns from the hip. You think about the men who will follow you, because you go first. You think about the ones who won't come back if you misjudge the timing by seconds. The night deepens. Engines idle, then cut. Silence presses in. You taste dust on your tongue. Sweat cools on your back. You give the order to mount up. It is not dramatic. It never is. A nod. A hand signal. Engines catch one by one, low and controlled. The sound spreads across the desert like a held breath, finally released. You ease the jeep forward. The headlights stay dark. The compass glows faintly. Somewhere ahead, aircraft sit undefended, their crews asleep. You know that once you cross the wire, there is no retreat without action. No way to test the rule halfway. You drive on. The numbers do not favor you. 18 jeeps, roughly 47 men. Each vehicle carries multiple Vickers K guns with high rates of fire, but limited ammunition. Fuel margins are thin. Navigation depends on compass bearings and dead reckoning. The airfield perimeter is uncertain. Intelligence estimates, not confirmations. Guard posts may be closer than expected. Anti-aircraft guns could be manned. Reaction time is the enemy's greatest unknown. You halt the column short of the wire. Engines idle. Men lean forward, listening. The desert amplifies everything. A cough sounds like a shout. A dropped tool feels catastrophic. Options collapse quickly. You can withdraw now, return with everyone alive, and the mission unfulfilled. The SAS survives another day, but the opportunity dies. Or you can proceed, trusting surprise to carry you through the first critical minutes. You think in distances, from the wire to the first aircraft, from the first burst to full alarm, from alarm to coordinated fire. Seconds matter more than courage. A runner crawls back, reports a gap, narrow, unguarded. Maybe. You wipe sweat from your eyes. Your hands shake once, then still. Your mouth is dry. You swallow and taste nothing. Fragments of dialogue cut through the night. Time, 2 minutes. Fuel, enough if nothing goes wrong. Nothing ever goes wrong, you think, without warning. You imagine headlights snapping on, tracers stitching across sand, men thrown from jeeps that offer no protection. You imagine explaining this decision to no one, because you won't be alive to explain it. You also imagine aircraft burning, dozens of them, smoke visible for miles, pilots grounded, bombers that never reach British lines. Your chest tightens. Breathing becomes deliberate. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Control the body. The mind will follow. You raise your hand. The signal is clear. Forward. The jeeps roll. Tires crunch softly over sand. The wire appears suddenly, darker than the darkness around it. Men cut through without a sound. Engines rev higher. There is no more concealment to preserve. You cross the threshold, knowing that retreat now would be worse than death. Half measures get men killed without achieving anything. You shout the final order. Go. Engines surge. 18 jeeps burst through the perimeter at speed. Sand sprays behind spinning tires. The first aircraft looms ahead, pale shapes under moonlight. You stand in the seat, one hand on the roll bar, the other signaling targets. Vickers K guns open up. The sound is violent, a tearing roar that shreds the silence. Tracers slam into fuselages. Aluminum sparks and peels. Fuel ignites. Heat hits your face. The smell of burning aviation fuel floods the air. Men shout, not in fear, but in effort, voices strained over engine noise. You drive straight down the line of parked aircraft. Gunners traverse wildly, firing into cockpits, engines, wings. Each pass lasts seconds. You do not stop. Stopping means dying. German guards react in confusion. Some fire rifles uselessly at speeding targets. Others run toward guns they cannot reach in time. A flare goes up, washing the field in harsh white light. The second line of aircraft burns brighter. Explosions thump, felt through the chest more than heard. One jeep veers, avoiding debris. Another takes fire. Metal rings. A man cries out. The vehicle keeps moving. You feel rounds snap past your head. Air cracks. The jeep shudders as something punches through the bodywork. No armor, nothing between flesh and steel. You spot a cluster of bombers untouched. You swing toward them, calculating the arc. The gunner fires in controlled bursts. The Vickers case spits brass, belts feeding smoothly. An engine explodes. Fire rolls across the sand. Time stretches. Each second is heavy, viscous. You are aware of everything at once. The vibration of the engine, the recoil of the guns, the heat on your legs, the weight of decision pressing down. A jeep to your left erupts in flame. It does not stop. The driver steers it clear before bailing out, rolling in the sand. Others cover him instinctively, fire sweeping the perimeter. You feel a sharp impact. Pain blooms in your side. You glance down. Blood darkens your shirt. Not fatal. Not now. Anti-aircraft fire begins, wild and uncoordinated. Tracers arc overhead. The sound deepens, heavier guns joining in. You signal withdrawal. The order ripples down the line. Jeeps break off, engines screaming. They retrace routes by memory and instinct, weaving through smoke and wreckage. A German truck charges into the field, headlights blazing. Gunners rake it. It slews sideways, engine dead. Men spill out, running. You pass the wire again, faster than you entered. Sand explodes under tires. Someone is missing. Someone always is. The desert swallows you. Darkness returns abruptly, like a door slammed shut. You drive hard for miles before slowing. Engines finally cut. Silence crashes down, broken only by crackling fires behind you. Men dismount shakily. Some laugh, hysterical. Others sit in the sand, heads in hands. Wounded are tended with whatever is at hand. Morphine, bandages, pressure. You slump against the jeep, suddenly weak. Pain asserts itself. The adrenaline drains away, leaving shaking limbs. Behind you, the airfield burns. Aircraft after aircraft, destroyed in minutes by vehicles that were never meant to fight. In later reports, numbers will vary. Roughly 36 aircraft destroyed, perhaps more. The exact count will be argued over for years. What matters now is simpler. You are alive. Most of your men are alive. And the rule is broken. If you find this kind of forgotten military history as fascinating as we do, we'd be honored if you'd hit that subscribe button. These stories of courage and sacrifice deserve to be remembered, and subscribing helps ensure they are. Dawn comes without ceremony. The desert looks unchanged. Only the men know what happened in the night. Casualties are counted slowly. 1 man dead, several wounded. Vehicles damaged but mobile. The numbers feel impossibly small compared to the destruction left behind. You sit while a medic works on your wound. The pain is distant now, muffled by exhaustion. You feel hollowed out, as if something essential burned away with the aircraft. News travels unevenly. Headquarters receives fragmented reports. Intelligence officers raise eyebrows. Skeptics question the claims. Aircraft destroyed by jeeps sounds like exaggeration. There are no photographs yet, only testimony. The enemy reacts faster than expected. Luftwaffe patrols intensify. Airfields disperse aircraft. Guards double. The cost of surprise rises immediately. Within the SAS, the mood is restrained. There is no celebration. Men clean weapons, repair engines, check fuel. survival habits reassert themselves. No one wants to tempt fate by acting victorious. You understand little of the larger impact yet. You do not know how many missions this will enable, how many bombers will never take off because of this night. You know only the faces of the men who followed you through fire. Higher command begins to pay attention, not with praise at first, but with questions. How fast? How many guns? How much fuel? The Jeep shifts in their minds from nuisance to tool. The wounded are evacuated quietly. The dead man's kit is packed by others. His name will be recorded, his story condensed. The desert resumes its pressure. Heat builds. The smell of smoke lingers faintly, carried on the wind. You sleep briefly, deeply, without dreams. The man who died at City Hanesh was Trooper John Robson. His age is recorded, his hometown noted. Like many in the SAS, his background is sparse in official records. The desert took him, as it took so many, with little ceremony. Paddy Mayne survives the war, though not unmarked. He will be decorated, promoted, argued over. Some will call him brilliant, others uncontrollable. Both will be right. The Jeep does not become armored. It does not pretend to be something it is not. Instead, doctrine bends around it. Light vehicles become weapons of choice for raids, reconnaissance, and pursuit. Speed is revalued, surprise elevated. Across North Africa and later Europe, similar tactics spread. Jeeps mount heavier weapons, crews train to fire on the move. Airfields, supply depots, and headquarters learn to fear the sound of engines in the dark. The cost remains human. Many of the men who master this style of war do not survive it. The margin for error is always thin. There is no protection from luck. The legacy is not a single night or a single vehicle. It is the realization that doctrine must serve reality, not the other way around. That sometimes the worthless tool, used at the right moment by the right people, changes everything. The Jeep never looks impressive. It never stops being vulnerable. That is the point. It carries men willing to accept that vulnerability in exchange for speed, initiative, and the chance to strike first. That trade, made in the desert in 1942, echoes still. If this story moved you, please hit that like button. Every click tells the algorithm this piece of history is worth remembering. We're dedicated to rescuing these forgotten stories from the archives. If you want to join us on this mission, subscribe and turn on notifications. Where are you watching from? Drop a comment with your city or country and tell us if someone in your family served. Thank you for ensuring that Paddy Mayne and the 47 men of the Special Air Service do not disappear into silence. They deserve to be remembered.